Hello guys, welcome to Supreme Steno classes. Now I am going to dictate a passage from Supreme Court cases, especially for who are appearing in the Punjab and Haryana High Court skill examinations and also preparing for MP High Court examinations. Okay, so it is a legal matter. Be ready for it. 5 seconds. Start. Law point. Onus of proof in cases of undue influence. Facts. The father of the parties by registered settlement deeds transferred house number 23 in the name of his daughter the respondent and another house in favor of his son the appellant. However, the parties exchanged the houses between themselves by an agreement dated 1/6/1982, but this agreement was not given effect to by the respondent. On a suit filed by the appellant against the respondent for giving effect to the agreement dated 1/6/1982, the respondent contended that she put her signature in the agreement under undue influence. However, the trial court decided in favor of the appellant. In appeal, the High Court decided in favor of the respondent. The appellant then preferred an appeal before the Supreme Court decision. When the execution of an unregistered document is put forth by the plaintiff was denied by the defendant, the burden was on the plaintiff to prove that the defendant had executed the agreement and not on the defendant to prove the negative. When a person is in a fiduciary relationship with another and the latter is in a position of active confidence, the burden of proving the absence, fraud, misrepresentation, or undue influence is upon the person in the dominating position. He has to prove that there was fair play in the transactions and that the transaction is genuine and bona fide. The appeals are devoid of any merit and are dismissed. Law point. Whether pregnancy of a woman who is a victim of rape and is mentally retarded be terminated even though she had expressed her willingness to bear a child. Facts. An orphan and mentally retarded woman who is an inmate of a government-run welfare institution located at Chandigarh had become pregnant as a result of an alleged rape. After the discovery of her pregnancy, the Chandigarh administration had approached the High Court seeking approval for the termination of her pregnancy. The High Court directed the termination of the pregnancy although the victim had expressed her willingness to bear a child. Aggrieved thereby, the appellant moved the Supreme Court decision. The Supreme Court held that there is no doubt that a woman's right to make reproductive choices is also a dimension of personal liberty as understood under Article 21 of the Constitution of India. The crucial consideration is that a woman's right to privacy, dignity, and bodily integrity should be respected. There should be no restriction whatsoever on the exercise of reproductive choices, such as a woman's right to refuse participation in sexual activity. Alternatively, the insistence on use of contraceptive methods. The reproductive rights include a woman's entitlement to carry a pregnancy to its full term, to give birth, and to subsequently raise children. However, in the case of pregnant women, there is also a compelling state interest in protecting the life of the prospective child. Therefore, the termination of a pregnancy is only permitted when the conditions specified in the applicable statute have been fulfilled. The court observed that the findings recorded by the expert body which examined the victim indicate that the continuation of the pregnancy does not pose any grave risk to the physical or mental health of the victim, and that there is no indication that the prospective child is likely to suffer from a congenital disorder. The court directed that the best medical facilities be made available so as to ensure proper care and supervision during the period of pregnancy as well as for postnatal care, since there is an apprehension that the women in question may find it difficult to cope with maternal responsibilities. The chairperson of the National Trust for Welfare of Persons with Autism, Cerebral Palsy, Mental Retardation, and Multiple Disabilities to look after the interests of the women in question, which will include assistance with childcare. Law point: whether the policy which makes a provision for remission of sentence should be that which was existing on that of the conviction of the accused, or it should be the policy that exists on the date of consideration of his case for premature release by the appropriate authority. Facts: the respondent was convicted under section 302, 148 and 149 of the Indian Penal Code and sentenced for life imprisonment. Having served more than 10 years imprisonment, the respondent approached the High Court as instipensary of having undergone the sentence as per the policy of the government. His case for premature release was not being considered in view of a new policy on short sentencing. The High Court held that the case of the respondent for premature release was to be considered in the light of the short sentencing policy existing on the date of his conviction and directed the state authorities to consider within a period of 1 month his case for premature release. Aggrieved thereby, the state government preferred appeal before the Supreme Court. Decision: the Supreme Court held that the case of the respondent was to be considered on the strength of the policy that was existing on the date of his conviction. The power of the sovereign to grant remission is within its exclusive domain, and it is for this reason that our constitution makers went on to incorporate the provisions of Articles 72 and 161. The act of remission of the state does not undo that has done judicially. The punishment awarded through a judgment is not overruled, but the convict gets benefit of a liberalized policy of a state pardon. Even if a life convict does not satisfy the requirement of remission rules on short sentencing schemes, there can be no provision for the president or the governor of the state to exercise the power of the clemency under the provision of the Articles 72 and 161 of the Constitution. Stop. So guys, ये डिक्टेशन था आपके लिए कोर्ट का, और आप अच्छे से लिखिए, अच्छे से तैयारी कीजिए। और मैं इसलिए ज़्यादा फ्लक्चुएट करता हूँ क्योंकि वहाँ पे हो सकता है कि आपको स्टार्टिंग में फ्लक्चुएशन दे या मिड में दे या एंड में दे, कभी ना कभी वो फ्लक्चुएट करते ही हैं। ठीक है, तो मैं भी क्या करता हूँ कि मैं फ्लक्चुएशन करते रहता हूँ, कभी बीच में, कभी स्टार्टिंग में, कभी लास्ट में, या कभी स्टार्टिंग में करके बीच में स्टॉप करके और फिर लास्ट में करता हूँ। इससे क्या होगा कि आपकी प्रैक्टिस बनी रहेगी और आप जितना अपने आप को हार्ड कंडीशन के लिए रेडी रखिएगा, उतना ज़्यादा आपको स्किल एग्ज़ाम में बेनिफिट करेगा। सो आज के लिए इतना ही। यदि आपको डिक्टेशन पसंद आ रहा है तो आप चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा शेयर कीजिए, और यदि आपकी कोई क्यूरीज है रिगार्डिंग स्किल एग्जामिनेशन तो कमेंट बॉक्स में लिखिए। धन्यवाद।